Welcome to Rise and Shine. My name is Ubong Kings, and good morning to you. And today on the program, we're going to be looking at something that affects your health, well-being, and generally affects everybody. And this has to do with something many people think is trivial. I'm talking about sleep. Yeah, many times people hear sleep and they say, I don't have time to sleep because there's a lot to do. Today's edition of the show, we are commemorating World Sleep Day. And on that note, I have a guest who is sitting right next to me who will shed light on this said subject matter. And the person, he's a pharmacist, and his name is none other than pharmacist Adigom, I beg your pardon, Donatus. I hope I got that correctly.
Yes, that's
okay,
correct.
Beautiful. And that's the name from Anambra State?
Yes.
It doesn't sound Igbo in any way.
Well,
it doesn't.
It belongs to the ancient times, even though it's simple to understand for those who are very deep.
Very deep.
Igbos.
Okay, very well.
Yes.
Then. Let's jump right into this conversation. World Sleep Day. I mean, some arguments exist that it's not strong enough. Sleep should not be a day that should be celebrated world over. But from a professional standpoint, what do you think about the day?
Well, when you look at the World Sleep Day 2022,
that's right,
you will see the theme. The theme says quality sleep, sound mind, happy world. So that gives you an overview,
of
the importance of sleep. That when you have quality sleep, we will have sound minds and the world will be better for it.
Okay.
So sleep is very, very important and very relevant
to human existence. Now let's look at this a little contextually. Many people think that now a certain calculation was done by someone, and he said there's a number of hours you sleep, and you would have slept away about half of your life at a certain age. Now, is there duration for sleep as far as adults are concerned? How long is too much? How long is too short for an average, of course, adult?
All right, as per recommendations, right from childhood, there is duration, average recommended duration of sleep for everybody. You know, when we are very little, talk about the neonates, talk about the infants, talk about the children, and then the adults. For the children, when I say children now, I mean both the neonates and the infants and the children.
Okay.
Because normally we categorize it like that way.
Okay.
So for them, it varies. Depending on the age, it varies.
Okay.
Something between 10 to 17 hours of sleep.
Wow.
In a day. For adults like us, from 18 years to around 60, 65 years, the average recommended daily sleep is 7 hours. So now think about it. If you sleep on the average 7 hours a day, that means you spend almost about 30% of your life sleeping. So for a man of maybe 40-year-old man, it means that the man has actually spent about 12 years out of that 40 years sleeping. So that tells you the importance of sleep in our lives. And whether you like it or not, you will sleep.
Now, what happens in cases where people actually literally suppress sleep? For instance, you're trying to hit a target or meet a deadline, and you take suppressants, maybe coffee or something, to help you keep awake, and you stay awake for a longer period. When you're supposed to sleep again, you take something else to keep you awake. How does that affect the human system?
It has a whole lot of adverse effects in the human system, because sleep allows the body to go into a rebuilding process. So when you deprive yourself intentionally, deprive yourself of sleep, that means you're depriving your body the opportunity to rebuild. The other time we spoke about stress. Now, it is during your sleep that your body tries to neutralize stressors and rebuild your body and prepare your body for the next hurdle. So intentionally suppressing this it takes its toll on the health of the individual. And one of the recommendations for us to ensure that we have quality sleep is to avoid caffeinated products or caffeines later in the day. say from 3 p.m., you have to avoid carbonated products so that you can have quality sleep in the night. So it is not that advisable for you to intentionally keep suppressing your sleep.
Okay, now, we've heard of cases where people sleep, wake up with headaches. Is that a function of the quality of sleep or the duration of the sleep?
All right, let me go down to practical terms.
Great.
In order to try and explain this. Our body is the human body. It's a machine. The only difference is that it's a biological machine. What you drive around, maybe your motor vehicles and all that, are mechanical machines. But just let's take machine as a whole. Every machine needs routine maintenance from time to time. Every machine needs maintenance from time to time. Now, for the mechanical machines, when you want to maintain them, of course, you shut them down. You can shut them down completely for the purpose of maintenance, after which you can continue using them. Unfortunately, the human body, which is a biological machine, cannot be completely shut down. It cannot. The moment it's completely shut down, of course, you know the results.
Yeah.
So it cannot be completely shut down. So what the body does is that at the time of sleep, some certain aspects of the body shut down, others remain functional, even if it's at a minimal rate, so that your body can undergo routine maintenance. So when you don't always allow your body to undergo this maintenance, that is when you can wake up having issues. You wake up, you're not strong. You wake up, you're weak. You wake up, you're not coordinated. It can affect your daily life, your daily activities. It's because it might not be a one-off or one day something. It's because of accumulated days of not allowing your body to recover and restore.
Okay, now let's look at productivity and sleep. Is there correlation between productivity and sleep?
I am sure from experience, my experience, your experience, we know that there's a strong correlation, and I'm sure that there will be researches that even also corroborate this. But from our own personal experiences, you know there is a correlation. Any day or any time or any period that I don't always have enough sleep, of course, it will affect my daily activities. I feel dull, I don't concentrate, you know. It will practically affect everything about your daily activity. Some people, when they don't even have enough sleep, only just for one night, the next day they feel as if they are sick, they feel as if they should visit the hospital, and they have all sorts of feelings as if the body is not the way it's supposed to be. Sleep helps you to wake up stronger, healthier, with better mental health. Okay. So when your mental health is always declining because of lack of sleep, then of course it will affect productivity.
Okay, now we're going to look at mental health and sleep after the break, and then look at cases of insomnia. How do people keep up with that? Especially, we're talking about sleep being necessary for the human body to function, and then people can't even sleep in the first instance. How does the body manage that? We'll look at that just after the break. Remember, this conversation is live on our social media handles on Facebook and Instagram with the handle at SpectrumTv, and the website is www.spectrumtv.ng. Please stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Please stay. Great to have you back. I still have in the studio our guest, pharmacist Natus, who is sharing a lot of light on this subject matter and explaining to us whether or not, or rather, how far is too far as far as sleep is concerned. And this conversation is live on social media, Facebook, Instagram, with the handle at SpectrumTv, and the website is www.spectrumtv.ng. Let's jump right back in this conversation. Just before the break, I did ask the question, correlation between mental health and sleep. Is there a relationship between these two things?
Of course, there is a very huge relationship, because when you have cases of sleep disorders, then all of these sleep disorders tend to rub off on our mental health. Like I said earlier, sleep is an opportunity for the body to restore, rejuvenate, and grow. Now, one of the most important part of the body that gets restored when we are sleeping is the nervous system. And by the nervous system, we talk about the brain and the nerves and the spinal cord. That is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the details of that side. But then the important thing is that when we sleep, that is the time that this nervous system is the body tries to restore it, prepare you for the next day. So if you deprive yourself of sleep for one reason or the other, then it will tell off on the mental health. And some of the effects are just what we withdrawal, depression, lack of concentration, decreased mental acuity, Alzheimer, that is forgetfulness, and so on and so forth. There's a whole lot of a package of mental issue that could arise from deprivation of sleep or from sleep disorders.
So, quite frankly, loss of memory is also a function of lack of sleep.
Yes, it can be. It can be loss of memory or reduced memory.
Yeah, could be a function.
Could be.
Okay. Now, let's look at insomnia. Now, there are cases of persons who literally can't sleep. There are cases like that. I know it's a medical condition, right? But how do those persons get to manage their situation, knowing fully well that it will affect their mental health and their physical well-being, basically? How do they get out of this?
Okay, insomnia is just one of the sleep disorders that we have. We have other sleep disorders that are equally of concern. But let's just concentrate on the insomnia, which is inability to sleep or inability to have enough adequate, healthy sleep. Now, apart from the medical intervention aspect of it, because I believe any person who is suffering from insomnia should visit the hospital, see a medical doctor, and seek medical intervention. But apart from that, there are some things one can also do at home that has to do with lifestyle that might help to improve the situation of insomnia. Of course, insomnia is nothing good. It's a health condition. Now, what are those things that one can do to improve that? We live in the technological age. And I always start with that because it's very important, both for the adults and even for the little children. Artificial lights. And when we say artificial light, mostly we have artificial lights mostly from gadgets, smartphones, laptops, computers, and so on and so forth. It has been established, it has been documented that these artificial lights in the body decreases the level of a hormone called melatonin. And that hormone is responsible for sleepiness. So now, people who use gadgets at their bedtime, of course, might have an effect on their sleep pattern. Their sleep pattern might just change because of that. So it is always advisable to not to use any artificial light about an hour before your bedtime so that you can go to sleep. And develop a habit of having the time you go to sleep and the time you wake. That helps your what we call sleep-wake cycle or circadian cycle. Circadian cycle is how your body has been conditioned or wired that at so time you are going to be having a rest. That is a sleep. At so time you are going to be awake. So when you have time that you go to bed and and it becomes part of you, then you have your sleep-wake pattern sorted out. Also, caffeinated products, we have mentioned it earlier before. You don't take caffeinated products later in the day because it is a central nervous system stimulant. So it stimulates the central, instead of allowing you to calm down, it stimulates the CNS and the person might find it difficult going to sleep. Frequent exercises, taking a warm bath or bath just before going to bed helps you to relax a bit and sleep. So all these people who are having issues with insomnia, these are some things they can do by themselves to try and improve the situation. But if the situation does not improve, of course, you have to seek medical intervention because it's a serious issue. It can have a lot of adverse effect on the body or on the person's health generally.
Okay, now the other sleep-related disorders, are they as grave, so to speak, as insomnia?
Well, every disease, every infirmity is considered serious and must be given adequate attention. For example, we have just talked about insomnia, which is lack of sleep. What of those that sleep too much?
I was going there.
We call that parasomnia. I mean hypersomnia.
Hyper.
Sorry, hypersomnia, not parasomnia. So those ones, at every point in time, they are sleeping. We have narcolepsy, what we call narcolepsy. That is daytime sleepiness. For those people, the sleep-wake cycle I just talked about the other time has been distorted somehow, such that during the day you see them, they are feeling always sleepy. We have a whole lot of others. We have sleep apnea, which is very, 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 in fact, considered very, very serious. Sleep apnea, you have a stop-start breathing. The breathing stops and starts while the person is sleeping. Of course, it will affect the quality of the sleep. And personally, I know a lot of people, or a number of people who have this issue. They don't sleep at night because of this apnea. They tend to snore also when they sleep. And it's something that the person should quickly, as a matter of urgency, go to the hospital and seek medical intervention. We have so many others. I can't exhaust them. They will have somnambulism, what we call sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking, yeah.
You understand? Or noctambulism. Is a situation that if you see, it will look comical to you or something. You understand? The person is somehow juggling between sleepiness and wakefulness. There is body movement. There are other sleep disorders that have to do with violent body movement when the person is asleep. All of them in totality need adequate medical intervention.
Okay, now generally, would you say Nigerians have woken up to the reality of restful sleep, making it a norm in their daily routine?
Yes.
Generally.
Yes. Because as we have just said now, we have used this occasion or opportunity of World Sleep Day to send out this awareness and advocacy for people to know the importance of sleep in our daily lives. It is very important. There's a reason why the body is structured to work for some time and rest for some time. I think we have exhausted that.
Yes.
So we have to realize, and this is where I think I have to chip in this, that we have to realize that it is not also proper for one to deprive another of sleep. Sometimes you are willing to rest and have some sleep, but someone or some group of persons near you will intentionally deprive you of that opportunity of sleeping. So we have to tone down all of this and realize that every human body needs some rest, sometimes within the day, so that it can be restored and re-energized for the next day.
Okay, in a certain part of the world, China to be precise, Taiwan to be precise, there's a certain institution, so to speak. Someone brought up the idea. He was asked what his hobby was. He said his hobby was sleeping. So he built a business around sleeping. And what did he create? He created a luxury apartment of a sort where executives could actually go and have what he called power naps, to just go take naps for a short period of time, pay him, and then leave. Now, where does this concept of power nap come in when we're talking about, because his claim was that most times when they come take power naps, they are energized, revitalized to go back and face the day. So what's the concept of this power nap in relation to what we just discussed?
I think business is all about identifying a problem, solving a problem, and then making a living or making something out of it. So that was a business idea from the person. But I think I will recommend his kind of business idea because he has identified that some group of persons, like you have just mentioned, maybe captains of industries, CEOs, this and that, they hardly rest. They don't sleep. They don't have quality sleep. So he has given them that platform for them to drop everything, leave everything, and take some sleep and recover the body. I can tell you with all assurance, there are instances of people of influence, even right here in our country, who have given way because they do not rest and they do not sleep. You understand? You have cardiovascular problems, heart attack, and so on and so forth, all in one way or the other connected to so to our inability to have adequate quality sleep. So I think he's solving a problem. It's a very great problem that he's solving.
Okay, in other words, it's something that could be recommended. Power naps, that's all. I'm very specific about that because the duration of time of that sleep is not for too long. It's not the recommended dosage, for lack of a better word, of a span of 7 to 8 hours. It's just for about 35, 45, maybe 1 hour max that they actually get to nap. Can that 1 hour do a whole lot in the system?
He can. He has the ability to do a whole lot to the system because so many of these people in the night, they don't have enough. Some of them don't have up to 3 hours sleep in the night, 2 hours sleep. I know somebody who both said that never has he slept more than 4 hours in the night. And they have a lot of workload, a lot of things to do that keep them up. And they bring out this small time to go and have the so-called power nap. It can do a lot of good to them. Although, I think it's also subject to individual because someone like me, you can't shut me down instantly. I don't just sleep down and shut down instantly. Especially during the day. I don't. So it may be the 1 hour or whatever for 5 minutes period. It might take me 40 minutes to even manage to
get there.
Off. Not take off. Is it 5 minutes that I'm not used to do the sleeping? So I think it depends. If the environment, maybe it depends on the environment. The environment is very cozy and very conducive. Someone can come in and then be able to shut down as soon as possible and take. But if you can take that, even if it is 30 minutes, 1 hour, I believe strongly that it will have a lot of positive effect to the body.
Okay, now let's get back to World Sleep Day. This day was set aside specifically to create awareness as to the relevance, so to speak, of sleep, of the human body, and generally mental health. Now, you did make mention of the theme for this year's celebration. Let's talk about the theme a little bit.
Quality sleep, sound mind, happy world. I think it's
in other words, it's relative. So we move from quality sleep, sound mind.
We have sound minds, and we have a happier world for it. So it's something that has been well researched, well documented. That if people, as time goes on, a lot of people, the quality of sleep keeps decreasing. That is why this advocacy, this awareness is very, very important. So if we have people who enjoy quality sleep, because it's not enough to say I sleep by 10 and wake up by 6. I sleep by 10 p.m. and wake up 6 a.m. It's not enough to say that. You have to have a quality sleep. Like I've said now, there are some instances that might be interrupting your sleep. That means that sleep is not quality. It's not the quality kind of sleep. It's not the healthy kind of sleep. So, but if we have quality sleep, of course, definitely you will see the effect in the society. We have sound minds. The body's nervous system takes time to rebuild itself. The skeletal system takes time to rebuild itself. The muscular system takes time to rebuild itself. The immune system takes time to rebuild itself. So all of this happens when you are asleep, not when you are very, very active. When you are active, that is when the body, all these parts of the body I mentioned are highly functional. So they undergo wear and tear. Let me use that word. They undergo wear and tear. It's when you sleep that they recover. So if we have quality sleep, of course, you will see the effect in the society. So that's a theme is very apt and very, very relevant to what we are discussing today.
Okay, very well. Then we have been told that we have some social media reactions, and we are going to take quite a number of them in a short while, but we'll take it just after this break. Please stay. Okay, the question is, why do rich people have difficulty in sleeping? Could it be the quest for money? Let's start with that one.
Of course, the quest for money. He has done a lot of
damage, right?
Damage to some people. Of course, all of us want to make a living. All of us want to make money, one way or the other. All of us want to work hard. You don't want to be seen as lazy Nigerian youth. But that should not remove the importance of sleep. We have just said this earlier. The body needs routine maintenance. So when you are working, doing the hustle and the bustle, you must know that there comes a time when you allow your body to undergo routine maintenance. We have a lot of people who have pursued this money, refuse to sleep, and maybe they got the money, maybe they don't get it, but at a younger age, they are gone. So the life expectancy keeps going down because of some of these things. People not taking care of their health in the midst of also a not too good healthcare system. You understand? So you have to do a whole lot to take care of your health first and know when to seek medical intervention.
I think that is key too, because many times people play down on the need to go see a medical professional.
Yes.
Even though they know they've seen some things that are not doing, I'll be fine.
I earlier made mention of circadian cycle, what we call circadian cycle, or circadian rhythm, as the case may be. That is your body getting used to. So if you are used to not getting enough sleep in the night, after a while, there comes a time when your body will adjust to that. So the person ordinarily does not get enough sleep, but it has negative effect on the health of the person.
Okay.
So it's not advisable.
I don't know if we have more of those messages. Do we have more of those messages? If not, we want to say thank you once, twice, a million more times for being part of the show. And just before I let you go, I want you to tell the average Nigerian exactly. Okay, we have some more of those messages. Let's take some more of those social media messages real quickly before we say our bye-byes. All right, this one says, I noticed that I found it very difficult to sleep if I stay awake till 12 a.m. Please, what should I do? Sleep before then.
Sleep before 10 a.m. And as we have said earlier, as we said earlier, it is better to have a regular time that you go to bed.
Yeah, create it, make it happen. Yeah.
And we have said things that can help you to maintain that timing. You understand? Like we have talked about the gadgets. A lot of young people are used to going to bed with their phones. Yeah. We have advised that even parents should be careful how not to give the young ones gadgets, electronic gadgets, to go to bed with. Because when they go, it will rub off on their sleep. It will even affect the eyes because of the radiations and all that. So a lot of young people will know very well that they go to bed with gadgets. Don't go to bed with gadgets. Like at least 1 hour before your desired sleep time, you have to get off all of those things. Stay quiet in your room, and you will take off. So whatever is making my to go to bed by 12 a.m., please don't try to bring the time down a little bit. Yes.
All right, very well then. I want to say thank you for being part of the show, and I want to believe someone has been more like educated on what to do and what not to do. Thank you for your time. And well, the show continues in a bit, and remember, we still have 2 more things to bring to you. This conversation continues on social media, on Facebook and Instagram with the handle SpectrumTvNG, and the website is www.spectrumtv.ng.
Follow Spectrum TV everywhere you go, on your Android and your iOS devices. Join our social media community. Like us, follow us, share, comment on our post, and let's get interactive. And do well to visit our website at www.spectrumtv.ng. Now you have no excuse not to be connected to the first privately owned television station in the Aqua Cross region. Spectrum Television.